According to A.Z. Klotz, St. Pope John Paul II once said, "Euthanasia and assisted suicide are never acceptable acts of mercy. They always gravely exploit the suffering and desperate, extinguishing life in the name of the quality of life itself." Both euthanasia and physician-assisted suicide have the same result, ending the life of a human being. This is always wrong. According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, euthanasia is defined as the act or practice of killing or permitting the death of hopelessly sick or injured individuals, such as persons or domestic animals, in relatively painless ways for reasons of mercy, while physician-assisted suicide is defined as suicide by a patient facilitated by means such as a drug prescription or by information such as an indication of a lethal dosage provided by a physician aware of the patient's intent. In both cases, it involves ending the life of a human person. Even though our government has decided that the patient can decide whether to end their lives, this does not make it morally right. Also, the option to end life is not a right given to us by the Constitution. This was verified by the Supreme Court decision of 9-0, according to Trent Horn in his article on the so-called choice in dying. People do not lose their dignity when they become disabled. They do not become less of a person when they are not responsive. If a person still has brain activity, which means they are still alive, it would be wrong to remove necessary things such as food and water from them because they are still alive. One case in which euthanasia is pushed for sometimes is if a person has been in a coma for an extended period of time. This is wrong because the person is still alive and still has a chance to recover, even if it is slight. According to braininjury.com, the chances of recovery within 24 hours with a 3 to 4 on the Glasgow Coma Scale are 7% for little to no lasting effects and 6% for disabled. This is still a chance to recover. Therefore, they should not be euthanized because they still have a chance to live. It increases as the numbers on the scale going up. At 5 to 7 on the Glasgow Coma Scale, there is 34% of little to no lasting effects and 13% of being disabled. With an 8 to 10 on the Glasgow Coma Scale, there is a 68% of little to no lasting effects and a 5% of being disabled. With an 11 to 15 on the Glasgow Coma Scale, there is an 87% of little to no lasting effects and a 6% of being disabled. Martin Fitzroy was in a coma for over 10 years before he started to recover. He has written a book about his experience. Imagine if he had been euthanized because he didn't respond. He would have not be living happily today with his family. And here's a video talking about this.
First of all, everyone has human dignity, and it's not based on whether they have the mental capacity or if they're useful. We are full of dignity because we are made in the sacredness and this image of God. And so that's first and foremost. And second of all, medical personnel have to make sure that they don't initially diagnose and then cast away someone based on initial diagnosis, because that's very dangerous. Third of all, food and nutrition, cleanliness, warmth are basic needs that every human needs. And so providing people in so-called persistent vegetative state with those basic needs is what is required, minimal care. Just the way that Terry Schiavo died because she died because of dehydration, not because of her vegetative state.
Well, I'm sure God will use this young man in a powerful way, just as he's using you. Irina, thank you for joining us.
People that support these things say that people have a choice to end their pain and suffering, but there are pain medications and other treatments that can greatly improve a person's life. People think that the patients should have a choice to ask for the medication to end their lives, but these patients that are in a lot of pain probably can't make sane judgments because their judgments are clouded by pain. In conclusion, euthanasia and physician-assisted suicide are never the right thing to do. They always involve killing a human being, which is horribly wrong. Therefore, we should fight against the so-called right to die and promote a culture of life.